Well, the above recording was finished at 4 o'clock in the morning. A fitting time for the creation for us, in the sense that he makes the world in which man lives his childhood. Four is our childhood home, our simplistic, materialistic view of all that is. You know, we have the simple experience of the simplest creature living, perhaps moving, perhaps not, perhaps there's plant life being moved by the wind, but that's all, apart from an extremely slow movement called growth. Is there a consciousness here? Well, not compared to the advanced consciousness you can have as a human being. But life, yes. Plants have life. Do they feel? There's a being, that sort of consciousness, that has experience, warmth of the sun, cold of the frost, that starts to speak through what, comparatively speaking, is darkness. What we think of as still life, the stones, the earth. Well, the earth is not still life, it's seething mass of life, really, but you know, grains of rock and so on. There's a stillness. Stillness itself is a strange consciousness, which is part of what you find in meditation. But you don't want to get trapped at that low level of life. You need fullness of life, which is, well, the other extreme, the infinite of God, our Heavenly Dad. Compared to what you might think of as dead matter, but is simply childish life, separated to the nth degree, if you like, lifetrons, where each lifetron is, in some sense, a separate entity, incredibly small, and yet itself made up of something smaller, what we might call thoughttrons, or what we might call, in fact, electromagnetic solidified pneuma spirit. Incredibly small, not really fitting to say particles, too small to say that. Something of what my strange chap I came across at the Humanist Society. He was not really part of the society. He was very odd. He said it's all ether. What do you mean? It's all ether. There's no such thing as space. It's, in a sense, the paper, the fabric on which it's all written. It's spirit, you see. And spirit is in dimensions that, well, aspects that you're not sensing. You're just sensing a few. Taste, well, touch, taste, smell, hearing, sight. Was it sight, hearing? I don't know what order to put it in. Well, the sight demands the most of the brain. Much of your brain is just preoccupied with trying to handle visual stimulus and making something of it. And to do that you need thought, which is of this well, the dimensions are such that give you the ether. And the ether constitutes the thought. And you have access to it. Very limited access if you're just a plant. And as a child, well, very limited compared to what can be, which is the infinity of our Heavenly Dad. So space is not a void, in fact, it's an extremely dense ether of what coalesces as electromagnetism, but it's in fact an even finer tissue. Where each atom is, by comparison, well, what we see in our world or our astronomy as black holes, that's an atom compared to what we see as empty space. So is an atom compared to the ether. An incredible confluence of influences, like a city set in a rural horizon. City set on a hill cannot be hid, dear one. So are you in your understanding of our Heavenly Dad, compared to the children that don't have it yet. But they will. We don't hold them in contempt. We love them. And we know our Heavenly Father loves them as He loves us and has loved us. But now we know what we value. Heavenly Dad. Love you, dearest one, dearest friend, love you. So love you. This is life eternal to know thee. Now are my fears all fled. Blessed assurance comes over me. Wonderful one. All is now done. Awesome, awesome, awesome one. Love you, Heavenly Dad. Thank you, Dad.